Good evening, everyone. This is Laura with Busy Bee Farms, and I was just coming to you this evening to tell you a little bit about a project we're doing this evening down here at our goat barn. And we are trying to build a platform in our goat barn for the mineral block for our goats to be out of the weather and but be accessible in the goat barn for all of our goats. And so David has cut out a hole. Well, let me start and say that we have a goat barn that has divided has a partition in it, and one side is for part of our goats. The other side, there's another section for the goats. So we have two mamas, and they don't really get along very well. So we had to build a goat barn that's divided so that they had two places to get in out of the weather and for shelter. And so we have that dividing wall, and we are cutting a hole in there to build a little platform for the mineral bucket, and for not mineral bucket, but the mineral block. And so we are in the process of doing that right now. David's doing a few things. As we continue to get that started, we'll be back to show you a little bit more of what we're doing. Thanks.
Two.
Okay guys, so this is a kind of a rough finished product. We spent all day spending time with Laura's dad and my dad and my mom's husband, and not only is it Father's Day weekend, but it's Laura's parents' birthday and anniversary. So, whew, 2 birthdays, an anniversary, and Father's Day all in one weekend. So, I'm sorry we got a late start. We got home and it was still a little bit of daylight, and I knew we needed to get this knocked out. But, so what this is the goats need this mineral block to be able to keep their rumen up to where they can digest their food and stuff. It's a misconception that goats can eat anything. They have very, very delicate stomachs. But what this is there's a lot of nutrients and things in here that help the goats with their rumen, which is the way that their stomach digests. And they tend to want to fight each other. The two different sisters, who are the mamas of the babies, they don't tend to get along real well. They want to fight over food. So that's the reason we have this dividing wall in here. And this is all a homemade shed out of products that I have saved off of construction sites and things like that, repurposed. But anyway, so what I decided to do was to cut out between the two wall joists in this wall panel, divider panel, and I just put a piece of plywood on the bottom and some 2x4 in between to keep the block from sliding out, and just took a chainsaw and cut a hole in this T111 siding to make it to where the goats on both sides can get to the block. And with it divided, let me see the camera, Olivia. With it divided, what we do is we have feeders on each side. There's one on this side and the dividing wall, and then there's one on this side, and the two different families have their own side that they eat on. So my thought was, with the block being in the middle of the wall like this, that it will make it to where both of the families can get to the block without having to be right next to one another to argue and fight over the food. They can both get to the block. So that was kind of the thought behind this. I'm sorry that it's gotten dark on us and that we're not able to show you a more clear picture of it, but that is just the hand that we were dealt today. So, and we done it, but we wanted to spend time with our family, because family is the most important thing. So anyways, we just wanted to show you that, and we are down here at the goat pen, so we're about 115 or so yards away from our house, and we don't have electricity down here. We have to haul water in the tractor for the goats and things. We don't have water or electricity run down here, mainly because we don't own the land between here and there. It does belong to Laura's aunt. She is very, very sweet to us to allow us to use it, to upkeep it and stuff, but for the most part, we're not going to run electricity and water across the land. So that's the reason we was using chainsaw and that kind of stuff to cut the wood, is I don't have extension cord to run down here. But that was the purpose behind us making the hole there for the mineral block for the goats. And they love those blocks, and they usually eat them up pretty quick. So anyways, I'm glad you guys come to see us today. Come back and check us out, and we'll try to show this picture in the daytime when we're down here talking about the goats, just to give you a better view of it. But thank you for coming by. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, and keep tuned. God bless.
God bless.